I'm back. Okay, tonight I am making tomato basil soup from scratch, roasted tomato basil. So what I'm gonna do right off the bat is I have a box of tomatoes. So I'm going to dice those into quarters, and then maybe I'll just do halves actually, and then and also an onion kind of into probably quarters, and then I will roast it in the oven for about 20 minutes at 500. First things first, I'm going to use a big baking sheet. I think I might need it for this one. And I am going to line it with oil. Hopefully to make the cleanup process a little easier. But looks like it just barely I'll just fold up the edges a little bit. Because what I'm hoping is that I'll just be able to kind of take everything from this and then dump it onto tomatoes. I got these from Costco like a week ago, and I've been meaning to make this all week, but I just haven't had time. I need to get it recycling, but okay, let's get my favorite knife that Taylor gave me for Christmas, and let's start chopping up tomatoes. I decided I'm just gonna do the halves, because then maybe I'm thinking that they'll hold in their moisture a little bit more. I don't know if that's actually a good idea. I'll do quarters. I think we'll be fine. I got chicken stock just in case I need to add a little liquid. So I will put all of these on here. And then I'll put a little salt and pepper on it, olive oil, salt and pepper. And then I will kind of toss them a little bit. Some of the, sometimes what happens is that they stick to the baking sheet, which I hate when it happens. But hopefully with a little olive oil. Oh, I hope oh, I dropped one. Hope it's not too bad. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it'll matter actually, now that I think about it. Okie dokie, a couple left. I mean, obviously don't have to be like perfect on this thing. They're just gonna roast on it. Nor do they have to be chopped exactly right. I like to roast my tomatoes because it gives them like kind of that little more of the burnt, like charred flavor. Ooh, they're cold. And I'm doing 500 like how I do most of my veggies. That way, I think they'll burn a little. Well, the onions will burn a little bit too. Like they'll get a little more charred. I think that'll be good. The only thing I'm mad at myself is I don't have any garlic, like cloves. I just have full on like, I only have minced garlic is what I'm trying to say right now. Oh, since I'm on here, and I posted last week about my new blue light glasses that I got. I've been wearing them, and I can honestly tell you that I really think it makes a difference. Okay, I'm just cutting these kind of into thirds, and I'm keeping them all together so that they're still pretty whole. If they fall apart, they fall apart, but I'm not too worried about that. Maybe I should have cut them kind of. Okay, it doesn't matter. They'll be fine. There we go. Let's get rid of this stuff. And then, last but not least, some olive oil. Ooh, I'm getting a little low. It's kind of pretty generous. And then pepper. Which I'm not going to put too much pepper on because of that article I read a couple weeks ago about how we over season with pepper. But I will be generous with the salt, like I always am. Okay, I don't have too much salt left in this baby. I have another one, but oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay. Let's just do a smidge more of salt. Okay, there we go. You know, what is this? Onion powder? No, I don't want that. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly. My biggest thing is I want the olive oil I want to make sure the olive oil is also underneath them so they don't stick too bad to the foil. Because that's always what ends up tearing the foil. It's so frustrating. Okay, so once the oven is preheated, I will go ahead and stick these babies in. And then I'm also going to grate some carrots, which I'll add last to the soup. But it just gives it a little more heartiness, I guess you could say. But, and I'm copying that from Metropolitan Market's tomato soup, which is bomb. And then I will also be throwing in, the soup is pretty basic. It's literally like, it's gonna be tomatoes, onions, some chicken stock if I need some more liquid, maybe a splash of cream, actually, it'd be whole milk in this instance. And then, or Greek yogurt, because I have some Greek yogurt. And then, what else? Oh, garlic. And then, what else do I put in there? Oh, I'm going to do a Parmesan rind. And then I'm going to grate some Parmesan too. So we'll see how that all works out. I don't usually do the Parmesan. And then I have some basil that I'll also put in. But all that kind of stuff will go in like towards the end. So right now, we're just roasting this, and then I'll add it all to the pot, which I'm using my Dutch oven again, my favorite thing. And I will fill you in after all these things are roasted. So I'll let you go, okay? Thanks, guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Hi. Okay, let's pull out everything from the oven. Oh, looks pretty good. So what I'm first gonna do is I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna turn off the oven. I'm gonna turn this on to medium. Throw a little olive oil. Oopsie, I'm a little messy. Garlic. Oh, you know what I didn't do while I was away? I didn't grate my carrots, but that's fine. Not a big deal. Okay. Because I don't want to get another thing dirty. I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to put in about, I'd say this is like, what do they say is a clove? Half a teaspoon equals a clove. This is a couple cloves. I'm going to close this up and put it away. I room in this massive fridge of mine. So I have so much stuff in my fridge, it's ridiculous. I just cleaned it out though. I'm really working on that. Okay. I'm gonna use this wooden spoon. I don't always use this wooden spoon because it has a little crack in the middle, but I really like it. So we're just gonna let this heat up just a smidge. Just enough to kind of bring out some of the garlicky flavor. I made chicken noodle soup last week. I should have probably put it on this Instagram, but what I did is, you know, I made the chicken bake last week also, which I don't know if I put that on there, but made chicken bake, and then I made extra chicken breasts, and then I ended up shredding those and throwing those in the chicken noodle soup, plus also the carrots. So I kind of got to recycle a lot of it, you know, and I only had to cook like once, which was always nice. Okay, so this is warming up. I don't really want to burn this too bad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a smidge of chicken stock. Okay. We'll kind of let that mix up together, and then I'm going to grab this stuff. I'll probably end up using more chicken stock. We shall see. I'm going to grab this out of the oven. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, how am I going to do this? Okay. Obviously, I'm being very dangerous right now. I am going to move my drying rack over. I wonder how I can do this. If I can just lift up the foil. Because remember my goal. Oh, did I get a little? Oh, I think so far I'm actually pretty clean. I'm going to use this to kind of peel some of these off. I did such a good job. I gotta be careful because this is not all the way on there. Okay, great. Okay. We're just gonna start putting it into the pot. And then I'll also add, the liquid that I'm collecting. The pot is just starting to simmer. I just want to lift it all up. Of course, it's easier said than done. Well, we'll just keep with this method for now. Okay, got it. There we go. Okay, now it's in the trash. There. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this simmer for a while until it's broken down a little bit more. The onions might be a little, I think the onions are pretty cooked, but I can't totally tell. And then I'm going to, I'm actually gonna get my immersion blender out and like blend it all up. And then that's when I'll add the like Parmesan rinds. Actually, I'm gonna add the basil right now that I think about it, because I'd rather have the basil really getting in there. And I was at the grocery store, I was at Trader Joe's, and I went to get some fresh basil, and there wasn't any. Which, I don't know if that's because, like, it's not the time of year? Ugh. Well, my mom didn't see that. But yeah, no, that was weird. I would have liked to use fresh basil. Tried. Did not succeed. So, oh well. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons, actually. There we go. It smells so good. Okay, I'm gonna let that simmer for probably about 20 minutes or so. That basil smells so good. Basil, garlic, onions, tomatoes, can't really go wrong. I'm going to add a little more. So just so you know, but at this point I've used about a third of this box. You're trying to like gauge my measurements. And this has 32 ounces, so I've done about probably 10 ounces. But I just want to make sure that it's kind of covering it. I'll give you a quick look inside the pan so you can see what it looks like. But here you go. Since I'm usually pretty terrible at that. There it is. There. It's going to simmer, and then we're going to come back to it. I'm going to blend it, and then we're going to go from there. So I will see you guys later. Hopefully like another 20-ish minutes. Okay. Okay guys, I'm back. And now I'm going to, oh, I gotta be careful. I'm using my immersion blender to blend up the tomatoes and everything. And then I grated my, oh, let's see how this goes. Uh-oh, did something wrong there. Oh, don't think I had it locked. Oh, I should give you a view of this. Hold on one second. Oh, okay, all I know is that you gotta be careful what you do with your immersion blender, because one time I had it in a bowl and I failed to secure it and the bowl tipped over and my squash soup that I made went everywhere, all over my kitchen. So learn my lesson. Let me get this figured out real quick so you can actually, oh, there we go. See what I'm doing? Okay, so immersion blender, soup, here we go. Woo, hot. It might have been easier to just do this like in the blender or the food processor, but I didn't feel like getting those out. And that's funny because I also grated a bunch of carrots, and right now I'm like, my arm is tired from it, so. This does the job though, it really does. Some people, when they make their tomato soup, peel the peels off the tomatoes. I don't do that. Which would make probably the blending process go a little smoother, but you know what? To each their own. Ooh. Okay, we gotta. And you can obviously leave your soup chunky if you want. It doesn't have to be super well blended. I'm gonna admit, usually it doesn't take this long, but I feel like I had a lot of big chunks in there. Oh, I just splattered myself. Oh, I splattered myself again. I gotta be careful. I should put on an apron right now, especially while I do this. Okay, I'm gonna take my little cardigan off because now I'm getting warm. Putting my apron on. Okay. There. There's still some chunks. It also might have been easier to transfer this to a smaller container or do it in batches. But y'all know me. I'm not about to make more dirty dishes. Too lazy to clean them all. I already have crap in my sink right now. There, but it's getting better. Let me just grab the spoon and... Oh yeah, still a little chunky, but we're almost there. I've honestly made this soup like 16 different ways, so I don't always remember what I do. I'll just try doing this right now. This is pretty entertaining. Okay, let's just see. Oh, that's pretty good. Couple big chunks. Let me get this. Yeah, I think I got it mostly. You know, and I don't think I'm gonna add any cream to this because I think for the most part, there. And it's okay if it's a little chunky, like I said, like, and I actually, since I'm gonna add carrots, it's gonna be a little chunky. So I'm gonna take this off, leave it right there, unplug my blender, and put it away. And now, and then I'm gonna carry this very carefully over to the sink so it doesn't spill or drip anywhere. Right now, I'm going to throw in a chunk of, I don't know if I should do this whole chunk. I'll do half of it. No, there we go. They're 2 little halves. And then I'll grate the rest of it in. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this essentially sit in the soup on low. I turned it off while I did the immersion blender. And I'm gonna put it about on right between low and medium. And I'm going to let it just kind of hang out. But so far it looks pretty good. Let me do a quick little. Definitely tastes like tomato. And you know what, right now what I'm also gonna do, I'm gonna add my carrots. So I grated these with a micro thing. Really descriptive, right? Just to add a little more substance to my soup. It might sweeten it up a little bit, but I don't think it'll be too bad. So those will cook pretty quickly. And as you can tell, it's pretty chunky right now, but if I need, I can always add more chicken stock. But we will let that set and melt and just kind of hang out. And I get, you know, it's not the traditional, what's that? I found something in there. I think it's a piece of onion. It's not really your traditional tomato soup color. It's a lot more orange. Don't ask me why. I don't know if that's because they put, I don't know. How do they get it so red? Like regularly. Oh, what's that? Oh, it is an onion. We'll just leave it in. Okay. I'm turning up just a smidge to medium. We'll let that sit. We'll let that simmer for a while. And then I will show you the final product, which is, this is close to it, but not quite. I'll put the lid on. And you can see it in probably, I think I'm gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes. So I will see you then.